More than likely, it'll be like Shab and Cal, like, so when you got canceled by the media, right? You know, because they're all like, and then Shab's like, you got a big dick. I know this guy has a big dick. Through all the classics.
I mean, honestly, I'm shadow banned, so I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the media is like making up lies about us based off everything that we said and did.
But you know how, like, people, you could visually see that they're homeless, keep the relationship public and nice? You know what I mean? Like, Howie Mandel, for instance, we know he's homeless. He doesn't really say anything.
Yeah, he just rips on him.
Yeah, he just rips on him.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
He's the only one brave enough to bring up the mangina into his face, so that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
He does his homework. Yeah. You know? If you have Howie Mandel on, he's going to, if he came on here, he'd make fun of your pubes and my teeth.
We'll be out of business the minute it's shot with him and Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, Hal and Aaron Rodgers?
No, Brendan Schaub and Aaron Rodgers, dude.
They're going to do 10 minutes of Schaub. Like, Schaub's going to do 10 minutes of Schaub?
Yeah, dude. That's the way to end our business.
That'd be amazing.
You know, okay, so this one's posted by Toronto Rapture. It's called This Is Tough Listening, B.
If Donald Trump goes to prison, what happens to America?
Great start. I feel like getting a glass of wine and like taking
getting the
time lighting candle.
Yeah.
This is Donald Trump. Like, what could possibly come next?
What's the over-under on mentioned penis, dude?
Yeah, you have to guess. Like, is America again? Or no? I don't know. I have no idea.
What do you? Okay, so let's make a bet right now. I think I'm willing to bet that he doesn't mention penis. If you're willing to bet that he does.
I don't. Yeah, I think he's gonna mention penis. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Now remember, over 70 million people voted for him, and do you think people would? I think he definitely played a part in the January 6th riot. If you lock up a former president, so let's go through. Hold on, B. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know history. You're the best person to ask this. You know history.
So good.
Oh my God.
So he's so stupid that like all the said words, you don't even hear them really. He's like, I'm set president, but hold on, B. You're the one to ask about this, but I'm gonna say.
I like how he acts as if Brian has the problem of cutting him off. You know?
Yeah. Good point.
Can you go through the list of dictators that imprisoned their constituents, that imprisoned other people that were running against them? Do you want to go through the list
In those shoes.
Former presidents?
It hurts every point. Those shoes hurt every potential point you can make.
Yeah.
It's just impossible to take him seriously, as usual, with what he's dressed in.
He's making those New Balances look like fucking Jordans, dude.
The New Balances look like, it looks like a suit. Someone's wearing a full suit. Compared to that. I mean, the way Brian's dressed is kind of ridiculous, too. He has on like a mafia, whatchamacallit, jumpsuit, but also jeans, maybe.
Ankle socks.
But, I mean, that's fine. It's not that weird. But just, that is wild.
Yeah.
His right side of the screen is out of control.
Scared the shit out of you. If you go through that list.
Yeah, I'd say the difference here is that there are a lot of Republicans in power who won't admit it, but they would love to see Donald.
100%.
Blocked out of the race.
I think Biden will win. I'm sorry, not Biden. He doesn't have a chance to win Trump. I think DeSantis can win if he goes. If I become president, I will pardon Trump because then he gets the Trump supporters. That'd be his biggest ally move.
He's kind of said that. He's already hinted at that.
He needs to be very clear.
But the problem is DeSantis is not going to be Trump in the primaries.
No chance.
Oh, no dick mentions.
Well, I don't know. Does it count that he said dictator makes it sound like he said dictator?
Oh.
Get in there. I don't know.
Well, you comment below. Let us know.
Dear friend.
But yeah, I don't even know. Still, this is a tough listening.
Ron DeSantis, he comes on the mic. He has like a big press conference. And he's like, I want to announce that I have a new part of my campaign. From now on, my campaign's going to be dear friend. And then Schaub comes out and gives him advice. That's what he wants advice from.
That's like, remember how Donald Trump had that video grabbing by the pussy? There's going to be like some clip of Ron DeSantis listening to T-Fat K. They're like, oh, we cannot have this man be president.
When you're famous, they just let you say anything. Eat it by. John, who is John F?
All right, so this next one's posted by All I Do Is Lie to You. It's called How About Now, Papa? So it looks like it's a long time ago. What is it, circa 2016, 17? Yeah, that's not like a long time. I've already seen this clip, and he definitely, I get a very Addies vibe.
Well, this is Papa dressed in like that gift. The gift where he's like swinging the bat.
It's that sense of not knowing that
Screaming Addies.
so when they come, I can kind of control it. I know if I work my ass off, that I'm gonna be able to, I know what it is. I have a few tricks I know that can hit. If I'm in a tough spot, I know I can get the crowd back. So if I bomb, cool, I'll go over to the comedy store or the improv and do something else and be myself. And the crowd, not really funny. Asian, Mexican, funny. Right. Nothing, I can't sit on a comedy store and this crowd, but you think it's the crowd?
This is probably something he said. Yeah. Like I see him as the guy being like the crowd. He is adding up. You're right. This is the side effects of the animal. Yeah, sure. No breath in between thoughts.
I feel bad while I watch it because maybe he did whatever, addiction. But this does give a very like I'm high on Addies, got a baddie, waiting at my truck.
Can't wait to text Mark.
Yeah.
Can't wait to text the baddie.
Just got a fresh shipment of dick juice. Boom. You know what I mean? I got Mark on socials, responded to DMs.
Hey guys, our socials.
And this is what you get. This is probably like the peak of him being completely fucking ignorant to everything else around him.
Yeah, zero self-awareness.
Yeah.
It's not the crowd, it's material, bro. They paid money to laugh. Not only did they pay money to laugh here, they're also full of booze. You can't make them laugh, you're screwed. Yeah, fuck my life.
But yeah, any thoughts on that?
I mean, just very obvious Adderall usage there is what comes out to me. So, yeah, that's necessary.
Hey, Bob, proud of you if you're off the Addies. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, get off that.
Get off the Addies. Like,
Does he just stay a ramp up?
he should just have that clip as a favorite on his photo there. Just watch it and be like,
Yeah, he should be watching it. Like never again. It should haunt him. I mean, to watch him like that, but like, for his health, for you. Whatever you're taking in that clip, stop it.
yeah.
This happy hippo doesn't affect him.
Kratom is not good either. I want to reinforce that idea. All right, this next one's called David Spade, Not a Numbers Guy, posted by Siphon Filter. We're still looking for the shit throat slitter, dude.
Ready to go on this?
You said that with a tinge of jealousy in your voice.
Very good delivery from David Spade there.
And good catch by Siphon Filter.
Cats are everywhere, babe.
All right, this next one's posted by All I Do. We gotta acknowledge the fact that we're watching a lot of All I Do Is Lie to You clips, dude.
Yeah, so good. A lot of work ethic. That works too much?
Yeah. You don't matter, but this clip is called That Time Papa Lost Containment. I mean, on his Buffalo Bills / NFL narrative.
Trying to name Sean Corkle.
So wait, where did you play college ball?
University of Colorado, CU.
Oh, okay. And then you got drafted by the Bills?
I signed as a free agent to the Buffalo Bills, and then I went to training camp with the Buffalo Bills, pulled a hamstring, they put me on IR, and told they released me, and then I had other offers, and I should have realized at the end I was a hard knocks made a dope shit, dude.
You can't see it, but off screen it's going.
Yeah, one thing I don't get, I don't know if some people have probably said this already, but it's impressive to do UFC. It's impressive to like win fights in the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's also impressive to play college football.
Yeah.
Why lie about the other stuff? It's not worth it.
And I do want to address, there was one comment on the last video, because we don't post and ghost, we read the comments.
Oh yeah.
There was one comment about like, yeah, I'm down with the show and all this, but I can't make fun of his career because he was top 10 and all this stuff. And I completely agree with that. I've said it before on the show. I don't know if this is, I hate making fun of his UFC career. But all stuff is funny because he was never in the fucking NFL. You know?
I guess it's kind of funny to see somebody get knocked out, especially the way he did when he was like,
Yeah,
like, I mean, I don't, it's terrible because it might be pretty damaging, but it is funny. I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
but yeah, the constant using of that clip though is like, come on, dude.
They do kind of use it a lot.
Yeah. But I'm here for it, dude. I'm a clerk at PF Chang's, whatever they're called. I'm a hostess, dude. Alright, so this one's posted by All I Do Is Lie to You, dude. He's killing it on the chase. It's called Diddler Diddler calls out on this pronunciation, and Papa mirrors Diddler. Here we go.
Some people had pets when I was a kid, those sugar gliders. They're like little chipmunks that can fly. Insane, man. They're like little chipmunks that can fly. Sorry. Chipmunk. My son says chipmunk. Chipmunk, but you said chipmunk. No, you didn't, dude. You used to say it. I asked you, I said, I'm sorry, what? What's shit? I said, chipmunk. Oh, no, dude, chipmunk. The females with big tits. Wait, flies. Yeah, no, chipmunk. Okay, time to let you go.
I like how he emphasizes the second, like, nobody brought monk and chipmunk.
Yeah. I mean, it's so much worse when because it would just be funny, like him saying that word wrong. They could do like a banter about it. It's kind of funny already. But when he says, it's like, you know, chicks with big hooters. It's like, yeah. Fucking moron.
Oh, alright, wait. Let him fuck you. Let him do fuck you. Let somebody show moves. Otherwise, no, think you're gonna die. You gotta let him finish. He's gonna rip everybody's face off.
I'm reading.
What do you put that one?
Talking about sugar gliders, and he's an animals guy. I love Shop on animals. It's very funny. I almost wish that the Diddler had interrupted him with the chipmunks thing, because then we could have heard whatever thought was coming about the sugar gliders. Maybe we would have got another Dirt servant. You never know. Shop will go anywhere with animals. Never makes them mad.
Well, the last clip I think is just for you, Papa. But this one is the second to last clip. All I Do Is Lie to You yet again. It's called Barndoor is Insistent about spoiling the Schwarzenegger documentary. Chip contains hardly any of the details. Here goes.
So then the day he's going to announce he's going to Jay Leno, and Jay Leno assumed he was, you know, I don't want to know what they're going to talk about. I won't be surprised at the natural reaction. But we all assume,
Help me right now because I want to see this stuff.
I'm saying easy, but I'm saying Jay Leno was just assumed that
You give me all the trade points that I want to see.
he becomes the governor.
I know, but I want to see these. Can you not give me every
detail?
Yeah, I'm watching the documentary. I know, but I want to see it.
Yeah. The bottom line is we have to do a podcast and talk about stuff. So the bottom line is he becomes governor. Spoiler.
Spoiler McGee over here.
He's so dumb. He's like, listen, I understand that you want to watch it. You don't want the spoilers, but we have a podcast, and I have to spoil it. That's the bottom line. I'm going to tell you what happens. Ryan's like, you please don't. He's like, no, I am. He's like a Will Ferrell character right now.
I know. I'm not going to give you any stuff out. I know. Relax. We have a podcast, dude. But I'm not. He becomes governor, which we all fucking know. If you don't, run yourself in the wall. So he becomes governor, right? And he's governor. How do you realize what it entails?
Run yourself into a wall.
The clip is title is wrong. It doesn't reveal anything. And the shoes.
You should have said and the shoes at the end of it. What do you think about that? Have you seen that documentary?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Is there like to spoil?
No, Not really.
I'm on the opposite. I'm like,
I know most of the stuff already if you're an Arnold head.
oh, okay. Are you?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't finish his book, but I read a good amount of it, so I got an idea. I wish I had finished it, just, I'm busy. Just kept busy. But yeah, I read it, and I also,
It's hard to read on that. I read 2 of his books.
parts of that.
All right, so this is the last clip, dude. All I do is lie to you has been the majority of the clips today. It's called Happy Papa's Day from Papa. Let's see.
What's up, fam? Happy Father's Day to all the real ones out there. Shout out to my boys. Busting with the Bizoys.
Busting with his boys? What does that mean? I don't know. He's busting with his kids.
I have no idea what that means.
Wait, let's see if we can get better context here.
Boys, busting with the Bizoys. Dad merch. Happy Father's Day, fellas. Where's Armand? One day? For dads, one day? Okay. That tracks. One day? We can't get a month? Okay. Everyone's get a month? We can't get a month?
Is there a women's month? Women empowerment month?
There's a woman's month, probably, but I don't think there's a mom's month, is there?
Yeah, I don't think so.
There's also a Mother's Day. It's That's one of the most equivalent holidays for Mother's Day. Not sure you can make it. He's just going to steal secrets somewhere.
Yeah. It's definitely in reference to Pride Month. I don't think it's in reference to Black History Month.
We don't get a month like the gays, like Ryan gets. Got him.
Get a month for the dads out there? Okay, that's cool. We'll just take that.
I've abandoned my month.
Happy Father's Day, fellas. Just announced Covina, California. Your boys there. Last weekend in June, July 1st, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Club, it's a little theater that they converted into a comedy venue. So come get you some Covina. Let's do it. Take it at thickboard.com right now. Happy Father's Day, all the real dads out there.
Covina, great place. Not really the same as Ireland, England, Scotland, all those European, the O2. I don't think you're going to find an O2 in Covina. Great place to visit. All right, that's the show. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good week. Later.
What happens, that leavening to go ahead and make the loaf and roll over to leaven the bread. And indeed it does so. It does so. Okay, watch this. Now what happens up there? What occurs? More yeast. Yeast ultimate control. Yeast also has enough to make the bread plummets. So what's next now? The vision says ultimately a very important. Why is he one third? This is fascinating. Why is he one third? The chicken rolls don't say nothing down. Why? Because by the time that, let's say, the true yeast fell into let's say what happens if you put in too much yeast before the bread? That is not good. It becomes inedible. So ultimately, the machine cells, this is ultimately the machine left. He's already good to go. Therefore, the additional yeast that is all those same carbo with gas. And therefore, again, it goes ultimately again. Rashi says, or I'm sure about there, Shechmitza Yosef Midai. Come on.
Alright, welcome back to 10 Minutes of Shop. Wow, we're in our new studio. We got a new setup. It's going to be a lot better. We're going to put stuff up and all that. Also, we have a new producer, Daniel Jimenez. Gerardo left the show. Thankfully, Daniel was one of the best. Yeah, just a little to start.
I just want to say Gerardo is amazing too.
Yeah, this is Gerardo. In case you're in case you can't tell. If you're so redacted, you don't know. But anyway, as always, join the Patreon, join the Discord if you want to. Both of those This was free. Spotify, everything's on Spotify now. Like and subscribe, rate and review if you can. Thanks to everybody who's on the live. It's a new thing we just did. The live's crazy. We got a bunch of new subscribers. Some days are weird. We're going to start doing that. But anyways, that's not why you're here. What you're here for is to watch 10 minutes of Shop, so start the chin clip now.
All right, Jen. Our first clip is posted by Brenda in Scab. Right? Brenda in Scab for Prez. It's called Humble Beginnings.
For the people that are negative or on forums and are pretty troll account. I view these people the same I view a homeless guy critiquing my art, or critiquing my set, or critiquing a podcast. They do not matter. Because someone, the person who would go out of the way to create that account or to live in their mom's basement or whatever job they're working.
Dude, what's the matter with living in your mom's basement?
Nothing deep. That's awesome. That count. Yeah. You're just, that's something that if you love your family, maybe stay there. Maybe you're working on going somewhere else, saving up money. The thing that gets me, though, is doesn't matter. Right after saying it's like a homeless guy, they don't matter. That's like the beginning of everything that I like. But I don't think he really, to stand up for Shopper, I don't really think he means that. I think his redacted brain, he's trying to say something else. I don't think he literally doesn't care about homeless people. I could be wrong. But it sounds really bad when he does that. Like, I can't imagine a worse thing you could say. Talking about this guy, these people that have no home and no job, and they're struggling. They can't eat, they don't have enough money to eat or have a place to live. He's like, they don't matter. That's so ridiculous. All because you're mad about comments, which you don't apparently read. You're so mad about these comments, but you don't read them. You're saying homeless people don't matter, and you don't care. There are cat profiles. Nice.
Let's finish it up.
Even fathom the amount of work it takes to pull off something, whether it's a set or a good podcast or a business or a merchandise, or it's just
Also saying that you don't care while also sounding like you're about to cry.
You don't care, but you're talking about it for a long time and saying the same things over and over. You care. Hey, Brendan Shaw, you care, me. You care. You love us.
and I hope I said I hope other people, they start to discredit those people even more. Almost the type of person that were to go on YouTube and not leave a negative message, to even create an account to pause that way.
Is he enlisting his son to fight YouTube commenters and Reddit people? I guess. He's raising his 2 kids so that one day they can find out where Reddit people live. Visit the mods' homes.
10 minutes of tweeties.
Us, you heard those too, but at some point, Tiger and Boston are going to find these people. That's why he's having them do jujitsu. He's gonna find people like Ryan Joseph and Shizzy, Throat Splitter, and Kiko Beat.
I don't associate with those people. I don't know those people. It does not matter to me. People that let that affect their mood or their life. It's mind-boggling. It's crazy. You can't be the same as if a cat created a profile.
That's a good example. Come on, Chin. Sell yourself out, B. You gotta be honest with these people. You don't need yes men. Brenda's got too many. That's the one knock on Chin. He's an yes man. He's never telling Brendan how it is. You should be telling him how it is. 7 days a week.
Maybe he meant that's a good example for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you should live by that.
Anyways,
nice.
Okay. The homeless guy was just created a profile. Shit, it doesn't matter. They're all saying,
Does he have a bad interaction with a homeless guy?
Probably, dude.
The homeless guy made fun of his pants. The homeless guy did make fun of his pants. That whole video. The homeless guy's like, hey, your pants or whatever it is. Hey, you don't have a house. Laughter. He really does have a problem. I take back what I said earlier.
All right, let's go to the next clip. This one's called This Line POS Redact. Still claiming to be Bill's alumni. This is by Mitchy Slick _LP.
Shout out to Sean McCorkle. I saw him tweeting about that. We were never on and you were never in the NFL at all. Yeah, just all Facebook.
I think we'll get to that later too. I think I have that talk. Ready?
Was there like an apology or a retraction?
No, sir. No. And then the team is on the Bills. Bills won. We played that.
That'd be funny if he was talking about Blackfish, and he's like saying the documentary, like, guy's been there, right? Yeah. He worked it.
Or he's like, killer whale right here, right?
Thinking Overson over here. He forgets who he is. He starts thinking he's another comedian. Oh, sorry, it's my CT flaring up. I thought it was James Order for a minute. Sorry, guys.
If I told you I was in the NFL, would you believe me? Alright, let's go to the next one. This was posted by some excerpts from the Crookening of the Zombie. Posted by All I Do Is Lie to You.
One of the reasons I'm not towards only gave myself to him for baseball. I'm telling you, dad knows I can get you pretty far, and then the rest can be on you. But all you have to do is commit. I go, all your buddies, that's what's going to happen. That's what happened with me. In the summer, your buddies are going, like you told me, they're going to Fiji, they're going to Bears, they're all watching YouTube and playing video games. You're going to be working. It's not fun. I'm telling you right now, it's not fun. But what is it worth? I said, if that's what you want, I'll show you. But I'm telling you, man, it's work, dude. Yeah, it's fucking work, buddy. And it's not gonna be cool. It's not gonna be cool. Your friends are gonna want to do this and this. You're not gonna be able to do that. Your friends are gonna want to eat this. You're not gonna be able to eat. Little cross to this dad. This dude is like, he's only right.
What kind of lessons do you think he's going to teach his son? It's like, first of all, 8 inches. Yeah. But I mean, the thing is, Schaub is saying this is not necessarily bad advice. Work hard, practice. Instead of playing video games or watching YouTube, I guess he's saying be in the gym or whatever, so he can be a great athlete. But when you look at Schaub and what he's done, is that what you want? Yeah. He's like a laughing stock.
But also, to keep in mind, those who can't do teach. So,
Exactly. Good point.
So I'm hoping that his son becomes like the Michael Jordan of baseball. That'd be awesome. What? No, Michael Jordan of basketball, but for baseball.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. That's a hard one because Michael Jordan played.
Yeah, I realize
he was
that.
bad.
I don't know who they confuse me. Yeah.
It was really confusing.
Comment below.
Yeah, both of us there, Bob. There's like, okay, Michael Jordan of baseball being like really good or bad? Because he's like,
No, I'm saying like a really good baseball player.
Daniel Jimenez is okay. This is a trial period. We'll see.
All right, let's see the rest of this clip.
Icing, salmon, everybody in the NFL, oh, it's a disaster. Sacrifice now, and look like a king later. All your friends are going to be doing all the shit, we're not going to be doing it. It's a disaster. And then he's like, oh, yeah, that's what I want. Because that bad kid he was kind of not doing great. And he goes, again, I was like, I like that. And I didn't say anything because I'm not like it again. I'm like, whatever you want to do, let's go. I'm like, yeah, it's tired. I'm going to But if this is what you want, it's this every single day. It's a disaster. And so I told my go, when I was yours, I was obsessed with football. One thing I had was football. So next life outside that, it's football. I was obsessed with it. My dad told me that's what I want to do with my life. I was obsessed with it. So if you want, I was an expert in football. So that's what it takes. It's a disaster.
There's so many lies in this. Like, he said, only thing that matters is football and Saturday Night Live. You had to throw that in there. He's been saying he wants to be a comedian forever. But what about the comic books? Yeah. And that takes some time out. You spend a lot of time selling comic books to old men and kids that came to your house. You're a marketing genius back then. When did the marketing thing take it, right? You're thinking about that stuff.
Yeah, but he's trying to be an example for his son, so I think that's cool. I hope him the best as far as teaching your son the baseball. Gerardo was probably sitting there with me, Daniel Jimenez. I think that Schaub should really focus on teaching his son baseball and then giving us some classic The Room type comedy every once in a while,
Yeah, well, I hope that his kids aren't like me or you because they're gonna, like, if they are, they're gonna say fuck soccer practice or baseball practice, and they'll end up with a podcast making fun of some comedians. Oops.
He loves Bryce Harper.
How was it?
That poor kid, he's got some.
He's gonna be hitting football. This one for the little dude. Oh, so Grunk's kid. Okay.
Hey, they're making a comparison, I guess. I mean, in this one, I think Schaub's just saying he wants his son to work hard and train.
Yeah.
Not bad, but it's funny.
Yeah, broken clock is right twice a day. and I think it's cool for him to want to spend more time with his kid. Now, keep in mind, granted, he's not addressing whatsoever that he's canceling his European tour, which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I'd like to know why. Yeah, what's going on? Unless it's like some serious family drama, which I hope not. Yeah, wish the best for them.
Yeah. We've stated multiple times that we want Mamba to create more money. We want him to create more content. Yeah, and we love him.
We love the content.
Yes. All right, let's go to the next one. We love him. We love him.
I just like that.
Posted by Siphon Filter. It's called Papa Chooses Not to Correct Jelly Roll Over the Length of Gringo Poppy.
Oh yeah, this is a guy that we saw a few times, Jelly Roll. We didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Now I actually know who he is. It's like a country singer or something.
Well, let's see.
I will say, watching your set develop is something I got to do where I watched you in the pandemic with new material. Design is like 2020 pandemic. And then I watched Gringo Poppy, and of course I'd seen you right before that back in Nashville. You know, it was still from 2020 to 21 or whatever, late 21, 22, whenever I seen you, totally different set almost. It was like maybe 2 or 3 things that made it my first 45 minutes. And then even from that to you finalizing the product and going, this is what I'm putting out was still like, there was fucking, I think it was like a 41-minute special. It was a little bit over 40 minutes and 30-something minutes. And there was still like 20-something minutes of not enough
God.
It's hard for me to take somebody seriously when they're saying anything complimentary about the Gringo Pop. It's just, it makes me think that guy's all, from what I've seen of him, he's kind of like this self-help, broken childhood, had a rough start of it, but made it better, and he's like a toxic guy in prison. So keep in mind, he's talking to people that are murderers and like, assaulters, and it's like the lowest of low and saying, hey man, like, I know it's real tough right now, but one day, you just got to make it right with the Lord. Get better, start treating people right, treat yourself right, and all that. So he's talking about the worst of the worst. So the Brennan Shaw, Gringo Poppy, in comparison to like a murderer. If he's totally like a murderer, there's still hope for you. Yeah. Or somebody with nothing. Nothing to their name, trail park down, just, they're addicted to drugs. They're trying to get sober. He's like, you should love you. You don't know it. So when he talks to shop, it's like, it's just a statement, especially. Yeah, that's what's going on there. Yeah. I don't agree with what he said, but no, the special media laugh very hard. However many minutes it is doesn't matter. Whether Shab was able to memorize 25 minutes of saying Mexicans eat hot Cheetos, impressive.
Wait a minute, the time does matter. For Shab not to be like, oh, it was 24 minutes. Like, there's no part of Shab that wants to accept the redactedness that he presents to everyone. Yeah, no part of him is like, oh, no. Like, I couldn't do that, or whatever. He's never going to correct somebody. Oh, I see. That's not what I meant. I meant, like, it's just not impressive at all. However many. Oh, yeah. But the clip is hilarious because he doesn't correct them and shows an idiot. But also, on the side note, it's like, it doesn't matter. It could be 5 minutes. Yeah. Like, it's terrible. There could be 100 minutes. And you remember early on when the Gringo Puppet came out, he said that they filmed an hour, and then he was going to drop clips from the rest of it for social media.
Damn, I want to get that footage.
I know, dude.
I'd almost rather, what would you rather find? The footage that they cut out or the roommate?
Oh, that's so hard. If you were to tell me, like, do you want to find the footage that they cut out or the Holy Grail, I would still choose the footage. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that's easy beat,
but that's easy. That's another one.
For me, I still want the footage because the footage is probably, if it's worse than the Gringo Poppy, that's dicey.
But there's like a fine line of like good comedy, right? Because the Gringo Poppy is amazing. It's true. It's because of how bad it is. But if it's worse than that, then you're kind of like, oh, this is just bad.
So the great Tony O, though, that's the thing. It's like now you don't know. It's like one of these deep questions in life that you don't know. But
we also don't know what happened with the roommate.
That's true. That's another thing. Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Well, let's go to the next clip. Let us know what you think in the comments. This is posted by Andy I12. It's called "The Weasel Makes His Escape."
Even a screen grab is funny.
Yeah. Oh, if you're the jet, don't feel okay.
Roasted.
I want to say, first of all, Brendan is a terrible person publicly. But he does seem like a cool guy if you know him and he's, you're hanging out with him, watching the fight with him.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I mean, I know people that have met him that said they were nice to him, and really, he's like really friendly. Yeah.
Just want to see that.
Toronto wants to produce food truck. That's why he's almost off when he was dating.
I've never been to Diablo game before. This looks fantastic.
It's out already? Is it scary? Those are the graphics?
These are the it's just
All right, brother. Yeah, I get it. You put your face on.
I'll show everybody. Everybody's all one day. Man, keep it so much.
It's just a funny way of leaving. I gotta go. I don't know anything about this. He's been filming the whole time. I've been watching the fight. I didn't do very good. It's still going on right now.
All right, well, let's kind of connect to that other one. Posted again by Andy I-12. It's called Thick Boy, providing guests with the finest cuisine. So he's leaving, right? We just left off here.
You left to Grenada.
Montez gets that as a suit.
Montez wins. Imagine your Montez Gordita that Ollie Shore left. Best day of your life. You know you need that Gordita
7 days a week. Hey, if I told you I was hungry, would you believe me?
Yeah, what if we left Cheetos?
Oh, yeah. The Mexican one came in and threw all of us.
Not enough Mexicans. We have a lot more food options.
Shout out Paulie Shore. Gordita.
That was Taco Bell Mexican food.
Oh, you're right. But speaking of which, I'm going to talk about after this, dude. Let's do it. All right, so this is hosted by Minimum Guy 2305. It's called Prom is Intrigue.
And you saw the recipe says,
He botched.
It should be. The problem is because that's the problem. Like, what? No problem.
We didn't change that. We
I think part of it too is going to the job. The only problem with hell yeah. So Amanda's interesting because
she's intriguing about it too, not that.
I like some faster. Yeah, what's interesting about him is when he first came out, it's just about Kobe. Isn't it interesting that
It's so weird. Like, I feel like half the time he's saying interesting correctly. Half the time he is fucking it up. Yeah. A problem with it. Yeah.
I love British shot. That's my problem.
no, but you know, it's a captain. Also, here's what's interesting.
I think that this is a very interesting conversation.
What's interesting too is that you can't
Interesting.
I don't think. Yeah, interesting. So for casuals, they're like, we're gonna do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Just because they get this. But the man is interesting because in drama, eventually it fills up with like it fills up with like fluid.
Eventually seems like something like is an app for going to concerts. Got the tickets from Eventually. Yeah, we got good seats. Eventually has the best prices on tickets at the Greek.
Oh my god, here we go.
DC's killing the mic in the air.
Oh my god. He finds a new way to kill me every time. DC is killing it. I can't hear him though. How's he killing him? That is a mind bender. Mind bender from Shop. Amazing.
I love Pollard.
That was my specialty, the hands.
He's good at that.
I've never met him.
Yeah, he's always like that.
Talk more about Tom. So he's all the. You see the comedy mothership?
Yeah,
When our kids have to build back. Wow. There's a kind of narrative because
Oh my gosh. I realized that was Minnesota guy that was doing those bits. Yeah. He's great with the hands and he's great with the I guess if it's him that does every time it is. I can't remember. The hands is definitely so very good. That is something that you can do to anybody, right? Oh, yeah, fast because interesting is a word that's used. I remember to call myself. I remember the stand-up video I had. The guy isolated all the crazies. Oh yeah, dude, that hurt. That hurt a little bit. I can't. After that, I can't talk. It was funny. I laughed. I was like, damn, that is really getting me. That's really crazy. Yeah, I did do it. Just kind of like pointing at a phone. Yeah, but you use words, especially a word. It's not. It's not. If you did that to anybody, it would break pretty fun. It's just funnier with the way this guy does it in the shop and then the food thing. That when I watched that, I get embarrassed thinking about like. You know when you do stupid hands and then there's no paper towel, but it's like of course there's no paper towel. Of course there's no paper towel. Shop from the shop first.
Just your setup is perfect for like a food truck diner. What do?
Yeah, we got the table. Yeah. I mean that is something that I said that we do the cooking thing. I didn't have enough time to. I didn't have enough time to get a cookie and hot sauce. I literally have that. We could later. I could walk away, get the cookie, and do that.
And put sauce on it.
But we're not gonna do that. I'll do that this time. I think that'll be like a live thing, probably.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So that'll probably be a live thing.
All right, well, let's go to the next. Let's stop talking numbers. BA. The next clip is posted by Taylor Swift. It's called An Old Dish of Crisp Bungard and Paul Craig discussing Papa Zero tour. Quote, no way, how can that sell? Hey, real quick, I think like somebody watching that, like they're looking at to us like, you don't have a cookie and hot sauce in your house. I beg to differ. Here goes.
Can't you see a friend in shops coming across that? You know, we don't see many shops.
It's like Scott and CEO, dude. Sorry, I don't want to talk about it.
Shout out to all the UK and the Scottish and the Irish listeners.
Oh yeah, you're probably loving this right now. So
This is going to be hard for us to translate in our own heads.
we'll say, yeah.
It was scheduled a few things in. I think it was an actor who's quite hard to. He was a fucking fool too. No, we don't know what to do. It's a smaller one. Jimmy likes to check with the angle checks you and says, that's why he gets old.
The other shot, those two guys, legit, it looks like it's like us. You're Paul, I'm the other guy. Yeah, that is literally. This is the Scottish version of Ted Tito's. We just need a third guy. Miguel. That guy looks like Miguel. Hilarious. Okay.
Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping sold out GKFC figure. As I was going in, he came outside so the crowd waiting to go in. He came out, the runners looking in, stood to the side of the road, thought we wanted to look about. Just clearly getting on, he was on the phone just to be recognised. And people were happy to show up. I was just like,
Wait, he's a what?
Wait, clearly on his phone just to get recognized.
I heard that. But what is he like? He said he's completely on his phone to get recognized, and then he's some was a partner. Let's see what he said.
Oh, he's like,
I don't know what he's saying, but you can tell it's a diss because he's like, anyway. But if you put anyway at the end, it's like a Scottish guy. There's shit. Anyway. Anyway. I'm saying he's an idiot.
You're listening. John, I was just like, he's a
that's probably not what it is, but that's funny. If you're Scottish, let us know.
Yeah, if that's an insult, I'm gonna start using that in LA.
He's a pie.
Yeah, you know Brendan, he's a pie.
He's trying to get inside. That's some British shop coming in and eat his food in. And he's clearly just doing it. He recognizes that he didn't. I mean, they're not hitting it. It's like English. Yeah. I can't help hitting it. It's so fun to say that. I can't help but do it.
All right, let's see the rest of this.
Just like pie man. That guy is certified homeless.
Yeah,
pretty funny. So, yeah, big douchebag there. Oh, look, it's famous Brendan Shaw coming on. Everybody try and take a picture with him. Look at the donkey.
You know, it's like roast battles that has like kind of like went and done roast battle Austin, roast battle Florida. You know, I wish there was like 10 minutes of shop in Scotland and 10 minutes of shop in New York.
Oh, yeah, that would be dope. Yeah. If you're in Ireland or Scotland or Denmark, somebody be from Denmark. Said, I don't know how to say it. They said that we're Hygelique. What does that mean? It means like comfy or something. Or fun to be around. It sounds like comfy. So,
everyone in Denmark's like,
they're like, idiot. They just made up a word. Got him.
All right, let's go to the next one. That's posted by Trundle Tabo with 2 G's. It's called Theo Dropping Hints. And, you know, he had our views on this. We got in a little bit of an argument about this earlier.
Yeah, we argued about this.
Let's see what happens.
We just gotta love each other. I know, and it is. You're like, damn, I don't also love Rodney. You know, it's like her, you know. Damn, Brenda's out here. You're right. It's dicey.
Okay, so you want to say your side of the argument?
I have another side to add to it, but I'm saying that this is probably another one of those clips that's edited by Changs to make it. It's very funny. I laughed. I enjoyed it. But it's edited to. Now I watch again. I don't even think it says Brendan. I think it said Brenda.
Yeah, but they're saying that he's
saying like, but I think he's like Brenda's out here. I do not think that
he meant Brendan Chop.
Maybe it's subconscious because I think it's edited. I'm guessing. I'm also like, we got so hard on that one clip that now I don't trust anything.
Okay, so you're used to getting got, so I understand the trauma response here. But in my opinion, I agree with you, and I don't think he's talking about Brendan. I think he's just using names and saying that. Right? But the weird part about it, what I want to say is that it's weird. I don't think it's edited at all. I disagree with you.
Okay, it might. I mean, you know more about editing than me. Your balls deep in it.
It sounds like he was talking that he said Brenda and Dicey in the same sentence. So you can say that he's dropping hints or whatever. Maybe he's subconsciously dropping hints. But I think he's literally said Brenda and Dicey in the same sentence.
It's possible. I'm also realizing now that it's redacted. I didn't realize Brenda. And then it's like Changs calls him all the time. That went right over my head.
Username is Brendan is a hack. Red Band Talk Shop performing at his club, Sunset Strip ATX.
Everyone in the chat room. Good. How's it going? Brian, you're booking Brian shopping.
First of all, Red Band needs to get a new camera, dude. This camera's not doing him any favors. But I doubt he cares too, though.
No, he's rich.
Yeah.
So
they're asking if he'll ever let Shop perform at his club, right?
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. Brendan probably sells tickets, and I'm in it for the money. No, I mean, there's not many people who book. They can sell tickets, they sell tickets. That's how I look at it, you know.
That John Lovitz had a webcam back when he owned his comedy club. He would talk to the fans.
Would the Lovitz comedy club still be around?
Yeah.
If we had webcams back then.
If you guys didn't know, out here in Universal Studios, there used to be a comedy club owned by John Lovitz, and it closed, and it was like a punchline for a while.
Yeah, it closed right when I got here. Yeah. It didn't last very long. Thank him. Brendan's not
joke thief, or he's not doing anything like that. Okay, so dicey.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
But Bud Light joke seemed like it was stolen.
If he said that though, and then he had somebody come out with fajitas, that would be hilarious.
Oh yeah, Thief or Sutherland? He doesn't steal? Okay.
I said I know of him, but I like Brandon. He's a nice guy, so nothing against Brandon, but yeah, I'm sure he would sell. I'm sure he would sell that shit out. So if he wanted to, I'd definitely go there. I feel like he could probably do a bigger place than our place.
Oh. I mean, saying that Brendan Schaub doesn't steal jokes is like saying that Joe Rogan doesn't slang dick.
Yeah, he's slinging dick.
That's a lie.
Yeah. Also, too, I want to say that I have respect for Red Band. He's probably a terrible person, but he's a sick ass producer.
Oh yeah, Rogan.
Oh yeah. Let's go to the next one. This one's called Skankfest, posted by Trevor Farden. Great name, never seen that one before.
Doing Skankfest.
Oh, you do? Do you think that that indicates they know about the shop?
I think it almost like dawned on him because when your friend, he was like a friend telling you an achievement, you're supposed to be happy about it. So at first, there's wow, and he's like wow.
The mixture is permitted. Why? Because the vinegar does
Oh,
not
jeez.
so you are qualified.
Are you doing this?
I'm gonna be there too.
Thank
God, make sure we're right.
What we call those is
Kellen canceled 2 days ago. He goes, oh, dude, I messed up. I have a dinner.
mixture, a prohibited item uses
Crowder.
there is
Can you run right on paradise?
if
Oh,
What do you say then?
no, he was saying that Brian's on a shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And they're taking a week off of Fighter the Kid, which I think is a clip we're going to get to later in this episode. Let's go to this clip that's posted by Siphon Filter. Play the chin clip. It's called Papa Cries in His Car on the Way to Film TFK, which might be the saddest title we've read.
I've seen this one.
Let's talk about specific example.
I've been busy, but I'll my car on the way here sometimes.
Oh my god, dude, I love this guy's reaction. This guy doesn't even watch when he said, I cry in my car. Watch his face. He laughs.
Here sometimes.
He smiles. He's like,
It's like a knowing smile. Like, yeah, me too.
he's like, yeah, I heard about that.
I don't get paid enough to do that.
They don't pay me at all. This is the flappers of podcasting right now. They really,
We're way here. Shit we gotta deal with. You kidding me, dude? Excuse me. Excuse me. That's my team.
Oh, wait. Please, son under of the clouds.
All right, let's go. These people only knew.
Nobody wants to hear two rich guys about how hard their life is. About how much money they have. You know, your employees wish you were numbers guys and pay them. We heard from Mark. He didn't pay. You owe people money.
do you cry before or after trying to fit in your car? I mean, that's crazy.
That makes sense. I don't want them to be sad, and I hope they're not sad about anything we're doing.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't count. We don't matter.
I mean, we love them.
That's true. And also, to homeless guys like ourselves, they don't really think about us. Who would care when someone without a house?
I mean, we're in your mom's basement right now.
Yeah, I mean, my mom, yeah, we're in her basement in California. She's in California now.
All right, well, let's go to the next one. He's great at there, but this is supposed to be highlight numerous think of, and the clip is called Think of Me.
3 hours. He started to call me. He goes, man, that's the longest I've ever talked to a human being, man. He was ever talking to my therapist that long. He was, as a matter of fact, I've talked to my mom for 3 hours, man. He said, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, it's the best ever do it. You don't realize it. You're like, how long is that? Yeah, it's the best in the game. Because there's never dead air. Yeah, something. You might not know about it. He's just like,
Yeah, I mean, we talked about what shit in there in Ukraine.
oh, yeah.
We like went into everything.
So it's cool.
Big fan.
Talked about Russia and Ukraine. I love that.
There's a famous clip of, it's another from the Carl Bassett companion episodes where he's like, oh, those are Ukrainians who are dead, right? Oh, yeah. In that fight, there's a punch there.
And I, you know what I mean? Because, what he's done for comedy, what he's done for these people, and it's just, and I know he's got a lot of it from his mom, and he kind of feels her, he's connected to her. So when I'm with him, I don't want to say I feel like I'm with his mom, but I feel like they're, like we're all like.
Feels like your mom on TRT.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? It's just,
Epic bomb. I thought you were talking about Zelensky for a second. It's just done so much for comedy. Another comedian thing. 1,000 they can do it. Hopefully he's doing okay.
it's just, he cares is what we're doing, and that makes me.
Yeah, and nobody loves comedy more than comics and giving back built out there. It's insane.
So, when I'm there, I felt like,
special place, special people. Austin's booming, huh? Austin's booming. Did you ever move out there, Paul? You're in Vegas, too.
I see you having a place out there for like 6 months.
You're a wallet, right? You've done West Guys. You're like right across the street from there, too.
No, I moved out of Vegas.
Yeah, Austin's different.
Yeah, and that group's kind of blockbuster. Oh my God, dude, Brendan he just goes, dude.
Yeah. That was just my saying, I'm on TRT riffs.
Yeah. I wish I could have a conversation with Brendan without any of this like knowledge of us doing a show or anything. Yeah, just see what he says, you know what I mean?
Probably just very friendly.
Yeah.
But he makes me, he obviously wants people to notice him. The Scottish guy who's like, he's on his phone. You see him every time. He's like, he's on his phone. He's like, yeah. And I told him, I'm Brendan Shaw from the podcast, The Fighter and the Kid. It's just like, I said, yeah.
Let's go to the next one. This one's called Things Are Different Now. Be posted by Modern Chaotic. Thanks all the chefs that have to watch these episodes, dude.
A new town, he's like, I'm Brendan Shaw, and I'm new in town.
I haven't done Vancouver or Toronto hot. So I gotta get up there. Vancouver's fantastic. I want to go visit the weather. Yeah, I'll plan it. Yeah, I'll plan it. We'll bring the crew up there. My crew will be UVJ. Yeah. Let's take a little break from
Hilarious. I want the CT to flare up so hard that he's like, I haven't been to Toronto and Canada in a hot Carl.
Hot Carl. Oh, okay, so this is the one we were talking about earlier. It's called Hey McCorville, be cool, man, be cool. And it's the tweet that he put up saying, hey Brendan Shaw, I was going to do a Scottish accent, that's why it's not. Hey Brendan Shaw, one last time, you did not play in the NFL, you did not go to the combine, you were not drafted, you did not sign a contract, not even for the practice squad, you were a walk-on, barely got on the field in college for a shitty team, let it go, stop lying.
I love it because Sean is so funny. He tweets like he texts. This is like a Sean text. It's like a hilarious diatribe. He told me about some like AI script that he made in the shop. He's like, I told him this, and then it's like talking to you in real life.
Okay, so this one is another tweet from Sean McCorkle that says, Brendan Shaw comparing himself to Matt Mitchell when it comes to their football careers is like me comparing my mom's football career to Matt's. Matt played 6 years in the NFL for 3 different teams for millions of dollars. My mom and Shaw both played for 0 years for 0 teams for $0.
Oh man,
I'm a little, redacted. Matt Mitchell is a football player.
Matt Mitchell's a UFC guy, but I guess what Sean is saying that he played in the NFL for a while.
Oh, okay.
I think Matt was on that season, right? I think he was on the shop season because they're heavyweights.
Yeah.
And I know they fought. That's like a funny guy too.
All right, let's go to the next one. It's so hard to do like the tweet posts in here because it's kind of like that video. It's funnier for us to react to videos.
Yeah, true.
This one's posted by Talud Bauer. It's called Theo's Just Gotta Go Handle Some Shit. I think that's in reference to Theo leaving Cats. So let's see what this is about.
He's really one of this house that can do it. Yeah, exactly. They're not crowd shots like that at many shops, European tour shows, if you know what I mean. Okay, that's canceled.
Okay, so let's go to the next one. This was posted by Light Upbeat. It's called Polly About to Get Gadoosh.
And go to the comments or no? Because I know there's gonna be some bad comments about us right now. You don't want that. So we don't go to the comments. You can if you want. I can do the good comments.
Well, generate some comments.
Okay. Now let's have a big
Yeah, a couple.
When you say it like that, meaning there's probably some really bad ones. It's like, gee, well, I can read the good ones. She goes, those ones really happy.
There's a few good ones I can read.
You know what? It just repeats the same thing. Yeah, she wants to cut off hair just to say the same thing.
Yeah, he's got to interrupt me.
Also, too, it's like, dude, you guys should just be so happy that people are tuning into your stuff at all. You know what I mean? Any offense. Even if it's like hate. Yeah, like, aren't you comedians? Aren't you supposed to be like out with these people?
Riff. We'd love to see you try and riff with people.
Yeah.
They won't do that. The AMA scarred him so much that he's like, I'm never reading another comment.
But that's what's so infuriating, because you can tell that shop still feels the way that he does in the first one we watched today. The one where he's talking about how he thinks all haters. Yeah. Bro, there's no growth whatsoever.
No, he doesn't. He says we get it, but he don't get it. That's the irony.
Yeah. Anyways, that makes me so upset. It's like, even if they're hating on you, dude, just read the comment.
Yeah, that Chin, like we said earlier, is a yes man. He's like, I can read the good comment.
Yeah.
One.
And it's you. Yeah. It's like, he's like, let's see.
Jordan Olafson says lucky one.
That's the good comment. Oh my god, man! In Brendan's mind, he's like, that's a bad comment. It's not about me. Yeah.
Olafson. She's fuller. Polly's a man. Like the way.
Oh my gosh, that's infuriating, man. It's like, I think Eric Griffin feels the same way, because I've tuned into Eric Griffin's lives. He goes live on Twitch, he games, stuff like that. And I'm on Twitch too, so I like seeing like Dan Cook or Eric Griffin. And dude, they engage with people regardless of if it's good or bad. You know what I mean? If you're doing stand-up for a live audience, you don't know if there's good or bad people that are going to have either way. If you want to include it in your show, you fucking say it. You know what I mean? Anyways, yeah, I don't know how you feel about this, but it's a read every bad comment. You know, you can ignore a lot of it. A lot of it is probably just morons, trolls, or whatever. But yeah, that's fair. And I think it's more indicative of Brendan's ability, not of Montez or Polly's. You know what I mean? I feel like they can handle it, but Brendan's the overlord, and he's like, no, we're not reading comments.
Oh yeah, I mean, Montez is a good comedian. He's a good stand-up, so I'm sure he's got some singers ready.
Alrighty, let's see. This one's posted. It's called Polly's Best Bit in the Last 20 Years.
In the 80s, I was in, Brendan's not here. I know. Fuck up this whole episode. Hey, like, what about the plus? Look at my ear, bro. Check out my ear, dude. We're going to party in Vegas.
That's a great British impersonation. That's
That's a great old dish right there. Yeah, it's some Howie Mandel vibes there.
Yeah, I forgot I had already seen that one.
It's good though.
Yeah. I mean, he's spitting facts, let's be honest. Alright, let's go to the next one. This one's posted by Thunderlips187. It's called Lies and Hate and Bitterness. Oh my. Okay, what's this about?
This show is
A delusional hater lies about his accomplishments while hating on a champion.
the successful guys who played football when we UFC. You have Brock Lesnar, Metronome, myself, and then Greg Hardy. I think the biggest one is Greg Hardy because he had the best NFL career out of all of us, right? Cappuccino, Buffalo Bills. Metronome played 6 years. Wasn't really like a starter. He had some play. Brock Lesnar just went to training camps. Me and Brock are sitting with training. I hate when people do it. If you could get, John Jones NFL, he wouldn't make it. You do high school football. It's a different set of things. You're a high-level wrestler. It has nothing to do with athleticism. But you have to be crazy athletic to be a world champion. Those guys already they can What's going on? I'm taking the transition. I'm taking what's going on in the transition from these guys. So you got, as you say, you played in the NFL. Like Brock Lesnar. Didn't sniff the NFL.
That's also about does intangible skills that take a long time to develop. So, like, I don't think he played in college, right? He played in high school. Brock Lesnar, he's a wrestler. He's a wrestler, yeah. So, yeah.
I gotta keep reminding you. Funnier, first of all, but at least to have his true perspective on it and like talk about how he wanted to be a fucking football player, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it means like a resurrection version of it, where he's like, I didn't play any football. I was on this like semi-pro team, and my roommates, I ate his food, and he told me not to do that, so I threw him through a window. Yeah, I kind of was a psychopath at the time. Really wasn't a real human being. Years of therapy made me land today, so thank you.
Oh my god! All right, well, I've seen this clip a couple times this last week, and I don't know if it makes sense, but I did want to watch it on the show because somebody liked it. Somebody Netflix rather. I call it Dicey Redact. I posted my Dicey Redact. It's called 888. The first shot is a screen grab saying Theo live tweeting during the UCF. Still LOL. Brendan always bashing how he tweets during the fights. Let's see.
Why would they say that? Why
Here's the thing. Here's the deal. And he's wrong twice because he looked like he was in the front there, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that's why it doesn't really make sense to me. I think they're saying that was a way earlier fight companion where he's saying like he's not in the front, and now he is in the front, and he is next to the puncher. So, okay. Theo just had to handle some things. Alright, this next one's posted by All I Do Is Lie to You. It's called The Summer Off of Touring Excuses Are Starting to Appear.
Alright, let's go, B. Let's see. Love the excuses.
Yeah. Well, people mention this one a lot in our live. So,
There's the reason I'm not towards watching the summers. I told myself I'm going to dedicate myself to him for baseball. That's pretty wild. It's easy to understand. And I told him, and I was trying to get his really sick clips.
So he's canceling. He's got to throw it in there. He's canceling his European tour because he wants his son to be good at baseball.
which is commendable.
Yeah, real field of dreams moment.
But it's coming from the world's notorious liar. Yeah, it's coming from a trusted source for sure.
Yeah. Actually, I was honest with myself. I'm committing myself this summer to you, man. It's you and me, buddy. You're waking up with me. I'm running with him in the mornings at 7. Run with the hills with him in the mornings. We're doing all the shit. I told him, I said, it's going to be work, man.
Yeah, he calls his son.
I tell him I'm going to keep you busy.
Designs of its people. So let me give you an example of this. Let's say, for example, just an example. Let's have, I don't know, no. So let's say you have sugar, you have fat, prohibited fat, right? Or chaylev, I guess you call it. Right? That gets mixed in with porridge. I know the ingredients do not sound appetizing at all. Right, but when I saw, but you're hungry, right? You're a bacher, right? So what happens? So you have the prohibited item of the chaylev that gets mixed in with porridge. So now the chaylev itself, the fat itself, is actually extant in existence, and it's mixed in with the porridge. If over the course of eating the volume of a half a loaf of the porridge, you would end up consuming a kizayis of chaylev. So that is a halacha l'moshe Sinai. But ultimately, again, you would get malchus for that. You get malchus for that. Rashi says, "Lo gerlot avapi she'im kizayis shaliser ne'achavasaris." Even though, of course, the hiddush over here is that you're not consuming a kizayis of a prohibited item at once. Kevan dana shava elaso mishitzchila okla achikaro elapide achilas pas mitzterepes achilaso beloke. So we'll say the hiddush over here is as follows. In general, we assume that in order to be chayiv for prohibited consumption, you have to eat a kizayis of prohibited item. The chiddush over here is, if you eat a kizayis, even if the kizayis spans over an amount of time, as long as it is not longer than what we call kidei achilas pras. So if you eat a kizayis of prohibited item over a span of kidei achilas pras, the time that it takes to eat a half a loaf, ultimately that act of prohibited eating condenses, consolidates, forms the shear of Isser, and you are prohibited. I will say, now by the way, it's not just that it's mixed out. I'll give you an example of this. Let's say a person has a kizayis of chaz, right? So normally, again, you say, when are you chayiv eating kizayis of chaz? You put a kizayis of chaz when you're not, you're chayiv. What happens if you eat a kizayis of chazer over a prolonged amount of time? Are you liable for that? Now, certainly, on record, not good, right? Not good, and don't do it. The shaila is there liability? Would you get malchus for that? So what's the answer? It depends how long the span of time was. If the span of time is what we call pras, the amount of time that it takes to go ahead and eat a half a loaf, then ultimately the act of eating is considered to be one cohesive act of eating, and you are liable. If the act of eating goes on for longer, then the independent acts of eating do not connect with each other, and it is no shear of prohibition. So most of this is a big thing. So by the way, what is the shear of kidei achilas pras? What's the shear? It's anywhere essentially from 3 minutes to 9 minutes, right? So again, so for example, if you were to eat the kizayis of chazer, let's say again, within 6 minutes, even though again you're taking your time with that kizayis of chazer, right? Halacha l'maisa, that is considered to be one act of achila, and there's liability. But for example, if you were to eat a kizayis of chazer over 20 minutes, everyone would agree it's obviously also you're not allowed to do it, but you would not get malchus for that. Because why? What's the logic behind that? Because since you're spanning it over such a long amount of time, that act of eating does not go ahead and essentially count as one cohesive act of consumption. Okay, so Kol Shetam Moshe Aser Zeh Kidei Achilas Pras. Osam Beis Kamo V'Lo Mamasho Aser Ve'Lo Kilalo. Interestingly enough, what happens if you have a mixture? And what happens? All you have is flavor, but you have no actual substance of Isser. Now, what's that case? If you look at Rashi, Hama V'Lo Mamasho, Kigon Chelev Shenafal L'Kdeira, O Chelev Shenafal Minuach She'in Mamasho Be'en. So let's say, for example, you have a piece of chelev. Chelev is for pretty fat. So your chelev falls into your chicken soup. So what's going to happen when the chelev falls into your kosher chicken? So what's going to happen? It dissolves. So now what you can have calm, you can have flavor. But there is actual no substance. What's the halacha? Aser, that is aser. Ultimately, again, you don't get malchus for that. In riba tam nifgam mutter. But ultimately, that's very interesting. Now, in riba tam nifgam. Now, if halacha l'maisa, again, the additional infusion, for example, let's say the chelev or something else, it is a negative taste infusion. Ultimately, again, it is mutter. It is mutter. Rashi says, "Hariba kula masher she'afa pishen nifka machmas teva acher." In oil, this is a rabbi says "Savagam mutter." It's interesting enough. The lashon is very interesting. But if let's say again, the prohibited item falls in, and the prohibited item provides a negative taste infusion to the mixture, then ultimately the resulting mixture is going to be mutter. First, 1 second. The lema in nasan tam nifka mutter. Why do you say the riba? The riba means if it adds a negative taste infusion. Why don't you just say if it provides negative taste infusion, then the resulting mixture is mutter? So we'll say, watch this. Hakamash malon. The afagab the ikamila achrenaisa the pagma ba'adei, because it teaches us that even if the resulting negative flavor is the result of other factors. Now, when can resulting negative flavor? When can resulting negative flavor be the result of other factors? When no seasoning, no additives. That's still called no sendam nifgam. This is ridiculously exciting. Right, so what's it say? Watch this. What does that show? The halacha follows the second version of Reish Lakish. What's the second version of Reish Lakish? The Basi, when you have a mixture, how do you judge? Is it no say tam with gam or not? Is it a negative taste confusion or not a negative taste confusion? What is that based on? That is based on the totality of the resulting mixture. So at the end of the day, does this mixture taste good or taste bad? If the answer is bad, even if the reason it's bad is why? Why? No one put in the seasoning. No one put in the seasoning. So Lamaisa again, but you would say this, if I want to take that seasoning, and it's like with the primary ingredients, it doesn't make a difference. We judge the mixture based on what it is right in front of us now. And if at the end of the day the resulting mixture is not objectively good, then ultimately again, it's mutter. Even if the reason it's not good is because you don't have the seasoning in it, then it's still called no same complex gam, like the second version of Reish Lakish. They will say, brother, and that it's a fascinating result because essentially, which also makes a lot of sense. What the halacha is essentially saying is, when you look at the mixture, how do we judge it? What's in front of you right now? We can't start with cheshbonos, well, if it did have enough salt, it would be good. If it had a little less pepper, it would be good. No. Right now, here's the mixture. It's right in front of us. Look at what it is, and ultimately, again, judge it based on what it is now. And there's a tremendous musahas this. In life, you have to operate with the circumstances you have in front of you. Right? They will say, how often do we go through life and think to ourselves, if only my life was like this, right? If only I had more money, less money. I guess no one says less money, right? More stuff, less stuff. I had better health. I had this. I had a better shalom bias. I had better, right? I had all the things were better. How much more I would accomplish? We'll say, you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. But it doesn't matter. That's not how life works. At the end of the day, the way life works is take the circumstances you have in front of you and go with it. How does halacha look at the mixture? Don't tell me more salt, less salt, more added. What is it right now? Take the mixture you got and decide. Is it no same time of gam? Is it no same time of shabbat? In life, take the mixture you got, take the life you got, take the circumstances you have. Don't spend your time wondering what if or what could have or what should have. Take the mixture you have and ultimately maximize it. Take the life mixture you have and utilize it to accomplish great things. Incredible. Let's go back there. Said the Gemara. But from all of them we can learn. No say down with God water. And we'll say that Kana says here's the good news. Bottom line, right? As it seems to be everyone agrees with the principle that no say down with God is mutter. Right? That whenever you have a prohibited item that gets mixed in with a permitted item, the resulting mixture ultimately again is going to, and again, the taste infusion is detrimental. The detrimental taste infusion, everyone agrees that the resulting mixture is mutter. So So interesting enough, Abaye says you're right. From all the positions we've seen right now, just interestingly enough, Reish Lakish Amru Kala. Let's say, if you notice, by the way, we're near Reish Lakish quotes this. Reish Lakish says Amru. They said, which means, interestingly enough, Velelo Sirale. Reish Lakish is not espousing his own opinion, rather Reish Lakish is quoting the opinion of others. Now that's interesting. Why is that interesting? Mechlal de'ika lemandam or nosim kam nefgam aser. Excuse me. Mechlal de'ika lemandam or nosim kam iser. To which the Gemara says. So what makes it sound like is that maybe there is an opinion that holds that nosim kam nefgam is awesome. Right? Up until now, we've been operating with the principle that everyone agrees no same time with gam is mutter. That's whenever ultimately again the taste infusion that has a negative effect, the resulting mixture is going to be mutter. The fact that Reish Lakish espouses this as the opinion of others leaves room to say it's not his opinion. Well, it's not his opinion. Then is there an opinion that holds no same time with gam is awesome? Then when you have a mixture, and the resulting taste infusion is detrimental, that the mixture is still going to be assert, which says in. Yeah. amazing enough, there's anything like that. They're going to watch this. This guy's about, when you're Echonos in Hamifgam, the Echonos in Hamishva, Osir, David Rabbi Meir. Wow. So it goes to Brisa. Rabbi Meir says, when you have a mixture of a prohibited item and a permitted item, whether the prohibited item is a positive taste infusion or a negative taste infusion, the resulting mixture is Osir. Wow. Wow, that's right there. But the Shimon says no. The Shvach Osir, or the Gam Motor. Shimon says, if it's beneficial, it's Osir. But if the resulting taste infusion is detrimental, then ultimately, again, it is going to be what's the shot? Where did Rabbi Meir get this from? So first of all, this is my right, because this totally just this. My life has just been turned upside down, right? Because my whole life, meaning for the last 40 minutes, right? My whole life, last 40 minutes, I always assume that everyone agrees, no same time with Gam is mutter. That if it is a negative taste infusion, if it's a negative taste infusion, no same time with Gam, that it's always going to be mutter. Now suddenly again, I found Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir holds, no same time with Gam, ultimately again, it's going to be asur. Right, so Rabbi Meir, really, anytime you have a mixture of something prohibited into something permitted, the resulting mixture is going to be asur. It's going to be asur. Whether it's positive taste, negative taste, it's going to be asur. Tell me what Rabbi Meir, where do you get that from? Rabbi Meir. It's very interesting. Gamar, so it's very interesting that, remember, all of the laws of kashrus, or essentially like the laws of like taste infusions, are learned out from the episode of Mikya. Right? Because when the Klanzer goes to war with Midian, is right, and what happens? They take all of the possessions of Midian, including like the pots. So that's where the Torah gives us the laws of Hechsher Kalim. That when the Jews got the pots of Midian, they had to kasher the pots. Now, why do you have to kasher the pot? Why is that necessary? And the answer is why? Because there's taste infusion, right? Because again, there's idios, there's absorptions. So ultimately, again, all of the laws of kashrus, as we know it, and all the laws of kashrus, right, are learned out ultimately again from Mikya. So this is very interesting. So Meir says like this: it's very interesting. Now, when the Jews got the pots from Mikya, they had absorptions. What was the status of those absorptions? What was the status of absorptions? There were no status count. In other words, there wasn't any positive absorptions over there. In other words, anything that was, what was the concern? The concern is the Jew is going to take the pots from Mikya, he's going to make his challah. What's going to happen? Like the Midianite made his concert in there. So what? He's untrapped, right? He's taking out the wheels, the absorptions. There's nothing in there that's going to be that's going to be beneficial to the food. It's going to be detrimental. Yet you see that the Torah still went ahead and prohibited it. From here you see that even no same tam with gam is going to be asur. Hakanami loshna leida. So that's a Meir. What do Rabbi Shimon say about this? Vida kikafur derchia. Lo asur Torah ella kidera bas yoma the lo with gam. So I'll say, interestingly enough, no, you're right. Gemara says, so Rabbi Shimon will say to this, when Moshe Rabbeinu commanded the Jews to go ahead and kasher the pots from the Midianites, what were they concerned about? Pots which were used within the last 24 hours. So they will say the halacha is like this. The general assumption is when you use a pot and you're cooking it, there are absorptions in the pot. Those absorptions only remain active only remain active and beneficial for 24 hours. After 24 hours, the assumption is that the absorptions are there, but they're dormant and detrimental. So therefore, interesting enough, Rabbi Shimon would say, no, Moshe Rabbeinu was concerned that again, there were pots that were used by the Midianites in the last 24 hours, and therefore again, there were active absorptions. So therefore, it would have been what? It would have been no same time. The shvach would have been beneficial. Says the Ida, that they would respond to that. Good. The Ida, Kedera bas yomanami, actually the Padma Purka. So the mayor would respond to that. He said again, even in a Kedera bas yom, right? Even in the fact that the last 24 hours, by definition, the absorptions are beneficial. By definition, absorptions in general is that they are always detrimental in in some way. But I just want to point out this idea that there's a lot to unpack here. This idea about having absorptions, right? But the absorptions only being active for 2 hours is incredibly important. I'll give you a good example of this. Right? If let's say you have a flesh pot, and you cook the pasta.
It's like, whoa. But what do you think? Oh, we already talked about it a little bit, huh? Yeah, well, we didn't know that. I didn't know that that's the reason he was giving. Yeah. I didn't see that, but yeah, now that makes sense. So he planned out a whole European tour, got all this places, and then he remembered his son plays baseball. He's going to be until his son practice hard. That's how bad at baseball his son's actually. Dicey. All right, so this one's posted by Dicey Redact. It's called the Euro Trip, and it has the tagline of pain narrative. Let's see.
I know some guys are really funny. They can be great. I think stand-ups, but I see like different.
I don't know really the difference between professional funny, like in Philly, want to be entertained, drunk and rowdy, converting them to having a good time, and then trying to do the funny. You know what I'm saying?
See what I'm saying? That's
different.
Either of them. Negative crowd, unless it's a crowd full of cakes, but they're like happy to see you because they're like, here we go, yeah, we're to the show. That's what they're I do too so bad.
But going into the crowd, Philly, they're joking, they're like,
Motherfucker,
Which I love.
it's like, so what do you do to develop that? Like,
yeah, that's, you guys are referencing this. On a shop, maybe he wants a drunk crowd because it's like the only way people will be like, hey, this is kind of funny because they're so drunk. Yeah, you know, they've had a lot to drink. That way, when you get drunk, you can become a little more homophobic. So it's like easier to do. Like, oh, yeah, especially these lips. Like, the homophobia is almost there. Sometimes like another Bud Light drink. Yes, I almost got there right where I want them. At the point where the alcohol poisoning may turn off their brain.
And also, I think what has really helped me out is a practice. Practice, like, you know, like,
It's on my practice.
like for me, I was thrown.
They're thrown to the wolves. The sharks. Yeah, thrown to the sharks.
Like, stage time was at the comic store. So you're talking about the mecca.
yeah, how did you get there? So that's because of your relationships?
That, and then also,
No, that's the only reason. Yeah, there's no other reason. Also, Papa's been his match here. This guy's interrupting a lot. Oh, yeah. It's like two idiots talking to each other. It's like, oh, wait. Offense. He beats me in the
comedies. Brian Kelly, myself, and Rouse. Successful comic before we sell this one. But
why? The only people in your corner you can throw dicks at them on earwaves, dude. Talk shit about men on earwaves. Successful. Success, I guess successful. Selling 7 tickets, you heard what I said, right? Now I gotta rewind that. He said Brian Callen was successful before meeting him. Selling 7 tickets, but yeah, he
like selling what? 7 tickets. I didn't shit. Something like him. Anyway,
he was like, that's the guy we said. This is a screen grab of his tour in the Kansas pre-sale code.
That was my first set. You know, you nervous? Super nervous because I'm such a comic nerd. I know like the legacy there, and like I knew like I need some pushback, like getting to the comic store that fast. Stuff like that.
Almost said puss. Almost said puss.
That's never bothered me. But it went well, but it didn't go great. But it went good. It didn't like scare me away for me. So I was like, oh, I can, if I work at this, I can do it. And so then I'd go home and I'd do my set in the there a million times. I'd get a comedy store and then I'm a year or 2 years in comedy. I'm getting pushed into Lee Diaz and Mark Maron and Joe Rogan and Florence Reicher. They're the best. Just a bunch of people coming out right
Just doing the there's no way that's true. Kind of like tiresome to you. You would just be terrible. I literally didn't try very hard. Even like when we were watching the live, I brought it up again. He didn't have his jokes membered. That's why he stopped. Because he doesn't know what to say then.
Yeah. I feel for Brandon because maybe he was going through some sort of addiction with Adderall and whatnot at the time. And all that needs to go out the window, your addiction. You need to be honest about what was happening and why it was so bad, but he'll never do that. No. He doesn't see a therapist. Yeah. Anyways, I'll stop. Okay, so this is the last clip for today. It's posted by All I Do Is Lie. It's called Lids is out of town next week. Is bailing on both episodes of TFK, and Papa says he and Rinks announcing a theater run soon. Why are you laughing so hard?
I was laughing because All I Do Is Lie to You. I think we've done clips from this person before, but that's just such a funny part of the shop universe. It's just hitting me now.
Yeah, take a little break, real quick. You're taking a break next week. The Fire Kid is going dark next week. There will be no episodes. Brian is in Jerusalem.
I'm in Israel, dude. And Jordan. I'm in the Middle East.
He's fighting a good fight.
Yeah, I'm going to do some stuff. I'm going to walk in.
We can't talk about it. We can't talk about it. It's not Brazil. We can't talk about it. It's a secret. Fire Kid is off next, so stay tuned. And we will be back the following week with some more fun podcasts. Yeah, we got some big news coming from me and Brian, a little theater around here. We'll have announcements for you. This one, Shop of Friends Pasadena, July 28th. Watch only 8 p.m. And then I'll be around at Laugh Factory Saturday. We'll be doing sets all next week in LA.
Yeah, there you go. What do you think? I want to hear Cody's thoughts on this.
So, when he said Israel, my redacted brain was like, oh man, he's going to go to Israel and get some like assassins to take us out.
Yeah.
That's why Brian's going over there. I'm just kidding. We don't count. It don't matter. And then going dark, Brandon not being around for a week. I don't know. I actually don't have any thoughts on this.
Well, first of all, my thoughts on it. Yeah, that is ridiculous. I mean, it's supposed to be in right now as we speak. Yeah, and there's that one post in Jennings about this one guy who can't wait in Belfast, can't go see Brendan tonight. And the title was like, is somebody else going to...
Hey, Seamus. Got some bad news for you. What's up? Oh, I'm sure it's fine as long as it's not the Brendan Charles on coming. If it's not that, then you don't really care.
Yeah.
Oh, man, well, are you sitting down? Yes, I am. They can't cancel for Brendan Charles. Oh, my God. That's the worst news. This is the tropes. Yeah, maybe too far. But, yeah, I mean, that's not real. But it's just unbelievable. Like, even with Shop being the way he is, unbelievable that he just does not address it whatsoever. There was another post in Chang's when I was going through the clips to see which ones we were going to watch for today about how unheard of this is. Like, he's canceling a European tour, canceling it, and going dark on it, and then not addressing it when you have a podcast weekly where you talk about these sort of things about comedy and whatnot. Maybe he's on Australian time. He's going to do it 7 days from now. That's the only thing I can think of. Because you're right. I didn't even think about that. That is crazy. Yeah. To not say at all. What's the big announcement? The theater run is the biggest.
That same post is talking about how, why would any other theater want to work with him if he's just going to cancel randomly? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And not even, give the fans any sort of, closure on why he canceled the show.
And then there hasn't really been much on socials about people being like, "Oh, I'm so mad. He got canceled because nobody bought any tickets." He's really not acting like a marketing genius, right? I don't know, but maybe just not talking about it as a strategy.
Yeah.
If you don't talk about something enough, it goes away.
I mean, there's so many excuses you can use, especially being international. You could say, if you just want to make something up like Brendan does, you can say that you don't have a passport or something makes you look more redacted. I guess.
Well, he has learned nothing as usual. He said his strategy. This is kind of his constant strategy, though, is it not?
Yeah.
I mean, he said nothing really about Tank, other than at one point he's a show dog. That's not really anything. I guess he didn't even try. He's like, I tried lies. Lies don't work, so I'm just gonna say nothing.
Oh my God, yeah.
All right, tune in next week.
All right, later, y'all.
12 months went by and he did not have a solution. He did not convert. He's considered to be since he came out of college. Essentially, so this is very interesting. So that's pretty much a shot. I think maybe there's just yes, there's you know, in this there's a concept of so some people are some people is in motion very much these things that go forward it's right something just beyond regular attention there's a reference
Did you DVD commentary for songs?
This was a Gerardo pick for the song. Gerardo picks most of this. We don't want to give him too much information.